India is one of the world leaders in the production of fabrics and textile goods. After the exit of Western brands and Western manufacturers from the Russian market, such products are in big demand, especially world brands, especially when world brands are produced by Indian companies. There is a great interest in the supply of spare parts for cars and trucks to Russia. However, as well as in the supply of special equipment, there are trial deliveries of some types of loaders and excavators to Russia. Options for the supply of various machine tools and production lines are being worked out. There is also interest in agriculture machineries, which we are working. There is a lot of inquiries from Russia, and we are working on that. Traditionally, Russia is strong in IT specialist sector, and a number of IT products are already working in pilot projects. In future, with the creation of a joint product for the requirement of Indian companies, I think most of the people will be aware of the fact there is a company known as Entech Lab. They have already working in the 220 cities in India, where they have supplied face recognition system. And they have also given licenses to more than 5,000 to different this organization for the conduct of examination surveillance purposes. So in IT sector, there is a cooperation is going on. Negotiations are underway to supply unique medical equipment to India and further localization. Apart from this, there are substantial interest for handicrafts, natural Ayurvedic and herbal cosmetics, body and personal care in the Russian market. There is also mutual interest for the supply of various timber projects. However, so far, logistics is the biggest problem, which eats up all the expected profits. Russian companies are also interested in getting loans in rupees. I will stress here, Russian companies are also interested in getting loans in Indian rupees, but currently the laws do not permit this, as banks are not the owners of the rupees. Because you should understand, the banks which have the money in rupees, they are not the owners. The money's owners are the companies which have supplied the products from Russia to India. This year, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Russian Federation, together with several region chambers, with the support of FICCI, business trips are planned to both Delhi and to a number of Indian regions. And apart from that, I would like to add here, for the fastest custom clearance of Indian goods. Recently I participated in a seminar in Moscow, where Federal Customs Services invited a lot of people, and you know, there is a provision for a green corridor, where Indian exporter and Russian importer and Russian exporter can register themselves in advance, submit the documents online, and that will be the fastest clearance of goods for Russia. So I think that can be used. So now there is a thank you so much for MSME for organizing such a good event. And I think now as the SME is going to have an office in Russia, I think it will promote a mutual business. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anjan. That was very useful. MSME Development Forum is for India. Likewise, there is an MSME or an SME. I mean, Shakespeare once said, names and forms do not matter in philosophy. Call rose by any name, it will smell sweet. So it may not be called MSME. It's called by another name. But we have with us Mr. Roman Mataru, who's Roman Mataru. Please pardon me for a mispronounced name if I'm going wrong, who is part of an MSME Development Forum type of an organization in Russia. So, Mr. Roman, you have seen how MSME Development Forum is doing in India and what you've been a witness, you're part of it. Is it similar in Russia? That's my first question. My second question is, how many MSMEs or SMEs are there in Russia? In India, we have, by the way, the number of Indian MSMEs is equivalent to the Russian population. We've got 130 million micro, small and medium enterprises. I think the population of Russia is almost the same. So how many MSMEs are there? And what is this kind of organization, like what we are doing for India? What is your organization doing for the Russian small businesses? Mr. Rahman.
Thank you. Is it working? Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Goenka, for inviting me, and good afternoon, delegates and respected ladies and gentlemen. My name is Roman Mataru, and I'm head of Apora Russia. We're the largest government-recognized NGO. We have, as Mr. Goenka already had said, we have 39 regional offices in Russia. We have over 60 representatives all over the world, and we have 400,000 members of small and medium businesses. And so I have been in India for already a year, and my track record for the last 15 years has been in international trade for about $400 million. And I'm very proud to say that actually Russia has been and will be part of the international trade. And we have picked up many topics today regarding logistics and payments and bilateral trade. I will proudly say that Russian businesses are very resourceful the same way Indian businesses are. Last year in May, most of the SMEs had already sorted out their trade routes and payments in Russia. And as Mr. Goenka knows, that what I recommend our Russian organizations to go say market strategy is directly penetrating it. And I invite all Indian SMEs to do the same. The system between Russia and India is no different. The taxation, accounts opening, working, getting employees, logistics, anything. I can, with my track record, confidently say that you can succeed in Russia. Whatever the problems and obstacles are right now, they have been overcome, and they will. Now, you know, just maybe 10 days ago, the World Bank made a report that Russia is top 5 economies. But in which part? In purchasing power parity, right? It's almost $6 trillion. So you have buyers in Russia who have money. Just let's keep it simple in that sense. India is number 2 or number 3. I'm not sure about it. It's almost like $19 trillion.
India is number 3 at $10 trillion,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, number 3. So congratulate. And I think Russia was number 5, right? And so you can be confident to do business in Russia. There are no problems in terms of customs. I, as a representative of business in Russia, confirm that our customs work as has said today. As long as your documents, you're not doing anything non-legitimate. When you do legitimate business, there's no obstacle in Russia. There's no problem in payments or anything. And the Vostro account is actually just your simple account in plain words, and you don't have to get worried, is there something special or some special documents? No, it just works the same way. So I really invite all businesses to do business in Russia, go direct, where necessary, establish partnerships, but just treat Russia the same way you would treat like any Asian, European, North American, or Latin American countries. How you would do business. You don't need to do anything special there. People speak English there. And one more statistics I will tell you that no matter what, was that, I think 2 days back, there was a survey done that 60% of Russians do not feel anything different has occurred in their lives. I mean, life is going on. Almost 60. Only 14% feel that there's a difference. We understand that in terms of business. So I'm very confident that Indian business should succeed in Russia, and Russian businesses will succeed in India. And in terms of logistics, I have seen cargoes move from Nhava Sheva, from Chennai port, air cargoes coming in. There's no problem whatsoever. And in terms of mentality, like we have said, it's very similar. And both nations are very friendly to each other. And I truly believe that Russia and India are the smartest people in the world.
Do you, Mr. Rahman, I've got a question there. Do you have categories within the small businesses, like here we've got micro, we've got small, we've got medium, based on the size of the investment and the turnover? Do you have such categories in over there, or is it just a uniform, either as a small business or a large business?
Yes, we do have those categories, and you could categorize yourself in terms of rupees as a small enterprise around 10 million rupees,
okay,
and then going mid to mid around 100 million rupees, and then whatever is above 3 billion rupees is considered as a large organization.
All right, and government does have special incentives for them?
Sorry?
The government does have incentives for them, for these small businesses?
I can't reply directly because I just don't remember what kind of incentives there would be.
Yeah.
But in terms of taxations, yes. There are different tax regimes for different types of organizations. Just like you have here, you have your LLPs, LLCs, and then you have your corporations. So tax structures, it's something very similar. And actually, I feel as a representative of businesses that Russia has lesser taxes than India and lesser red tape, very straightforward. We have a tax monitoring system which is very highly advanced and automated, and it's something very simple. I must say.
Well, just to let you know that our red tape is also not as red as before. So we are much more pink now. We are not red. It's getting pinkish, so it's fading away, which is good news for the businesses in India. We also have with us from MISHIA. Sir, I gave an acronym to your Chambers of Commerce, Mr. Anil Trigunyat, from MISHIA. Yes, Mr. Goenka wants to add.
Yeah. Before my friend Anil speaks, I'd like to thank President of Apollo Russia. You, no, I'm telling, I want to thank the President of Apollo Russia. He introduced us. He was our first meeting when I led a delegation last month. The first meeting was arranged by Mr. Matharu. He was always there on screen virtually. He was on the screen throughout. He arranged that meeting. He was moderating and coordinating wherever we had some problem. He was even speaking from our side. Then SPIF, when I went there, the president met me there in the plenary session. He became so friendly with us. He said, my wife is yoga follower and yoga instructor also. She follows India. And he invited me to his village, his city also as a guest. And, he took one step ahead. He said, I told him that we are going to open an office. He said, why you are opening a separate office? Apollo Russia is your office. And the whole building is available to you. My secretariat will be for you. When I came back from St. Petersburg to Moscow, he called up his secretary. She invited us again. And she said, whenever you want to hold a conference or a meeting and secretarial services, we will provide you. I'm just trying to tell you, I want to thank him through you also and from all my members here that that's a gesture, he's offered to us. Thank you to him. And thank you to you for connecting us.
Thank you so much, Goenka Sahab. So, to Mr. Anil Trigunyat, I'd like to put the similar question what I put to Anjan, that what has changed in terms of India-Russia business? What new opportunities have opened? And how are things looking different in view of the new geopolitical equations which are built around the world? Since you're from Mishia, can I call you Mishia? M-I-I-C-C-I-A, right? So he's from the Millennial Chambers handling international business. Over to you, Anandji.
Thank you, Dr. Sharad. And at the outset, I would like to greet the most popular man in Russia, our friend, Goenka ji, for arranging this, inviting and congratulate you on this 9th MSME, which is an extremely important organization, given the fact that India has more than 30 million MSMEs, and they are the backbone of our industry. Friends, наши дорогие друзья российские, I have served about 7 years in Russia in my 2 terms as a diplomat. In 1999, when I arrived there, then 2000, we saw President Putin coming to the scene, and he was personally invested in retrieving this relationship with India that was going through a bit of a difficult period. And since then, we have developed into a special and privileged strategic partnership. If you know that it is not only a partnership, it is a friendship which is based out of trust. At the political level, at the people-to-people level, I have traveled across whole of Russia. And many of you might know that despite the disintegration of Soviet Union, Russia is still the largest country in the world. I remember having traveled to Siberia, one of the governors, and when we entered his office, we were talking, he said, do you know, I rule over 1/49th of the world. So his state was 1/7 of Russia, and that's how. So we were all foxed. So there is a tremendous opportunity. It is also one of the richest countries in terms of resources. More importantly, I find the biggest strength of Russia is its human resource also, like that of India. So there are tremendous opportunities. I was also privy and partner at a time when for the first time India invested more than $3 billion in the oil and gas industry, taking 20% of the Rosneft share. And that has paid off to the OVL many times over since then. One of the most profitable investments we have made. I would like to tell you that the wars are bad, conflicts are bad, but the conflicts are also opportunity for many countries, those who do it, but for others as well. Personally, I feel today, this is once again your Soviet movement. We used to have rupee-ruble trade at that time also. This is again an opportunity that we must not let pass. The governments are keen, the governments are working, organizations, you have heard from everyone, is trying to facilitate. But the businesses are done only by the businessmen. And therefore, opportunities, information, all are available with the chambers, with the MSME, and I must congratulate Mr. Goenka for opening an office, because it's nothing like being there. So you must participate in exhibitions like the one which has been done here for the Russians, but the Indian companies must also participate. Very often there is an information deficit, which is not available, about what are the opportunities, what we can do. So we continue to do what we have been used to doing it and thinking that it will work. But very often that doesn't work. So it is very important that we identify the correct opportunities and go ahead with this, as has been told by our friends. So just visit Russia. Nowadays they are also going to give you e-visa for Indians, which is a very major achievement, I must say, because once you go there, then another area I would like to tell you is that Russia has been looking at great opportunities and possibilities in their Far East, which we have, there is a Far East Economic Forum. Prime Minister Modi had been there, many chief ministers with hundreds of businessmen have been there. And that is an area which is rich, great rich potential, which we must find, exploit, including in the media and entertainment industry. It's so that just look at that possibility. We are also looking at a new trade route from Chennai to Vladivostok. We already have the international north-south transport corridor, which is being focused for trading, for sending it quickly at cheaper rates. So there are instruments, there are institutions, there are routes available, and now we have heard from the bankers that this is mechanism, despite certain difficulties in the beginning, is going to go ahead and is going very well. It has been mentioned that what do we do with the surplus? For the Russians also, I think, because we are buying now the largest imports of our oil and gas coming from Russia, naturally the rupee surplus is increased. So it is very important for the Russians to look at the opportunities in India in the infrastructure sector, from the refineries to other areas which they can work on. Russia, Soviet Union was instrumental in India's growth in the early 50s and 60s in terms of building infrastructure. Today, India has a $2 trillion opportunity. So this is the time, because now India is going to be the biggest market in the world. It is the third largest economy in terms of PPP and will become the real market economy by 2037, the real third economy. So there are opportunities. You are most welcome. Please come and join. An India and Russia friendship exists there. There is a political commitment, a strategic commitment, and it is for us to exploit these. And there are all chambers, associations. I represent a chamber here, and that is only to assist the companies looking for diverse markets across. And if you need it, we are there, MSC is there. We are working together to find and identify opportunities for your advantage. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. Spasibo большое.
A very diverse panel on the dais, and क्योंकि बहुत सारे शहरों से भारत के यहाँ पर MSMEs आए हुए हैं, और मुझे लगता है कि इससे अच्छा मौका नहीं मिलेगा. We will not find a better opportunity. We have people from the banks, the Russian banks, people from the Russian business organizations, the Deputy Trade Commissioner himself, you know, a former ambassador. I think मैं चाहूँगा कि हमारे जो भाई बहन यहाँ पर हैं, if you've got a question, अगर आप वहाँ पर business setup करना चाहते हैं, you've got a question, you have any doubt in the mind, no better platform to answer. I'm here as a moderator. आप पूछ सकते हैं, और पूछ के जिस भी शख्सियत को यहाँ पर जवाब होगा, वो he'll like to answer your question. We've got a hand coming up from there. Please, can you please pass on a mic to the gentleman there? Sir, please introduce yourself and ask your question. So we're going to take questions. So whosoever is the field from where the question comes, I think we'd like to answer. Yes.
Sharaji, namaskar. Mani Kaushik from Indo-Ural.
Sorry, naam फिर से बोलेंगे?
Mani Bhai.
Mani Bhai, yes.
Добрый день, коллеги, или товарищи, или друзья из далекой России. Good day to you. पहले तो मैं सिर्फ 2 मिनट में ये बता दूं कि MSME, whatever is happening from Russia, 99% of the MSMEs are not meant for India. Khatam baat. So there has to be
Can you increase the volume, please, of his mic?
So as far as the MSMEs are concerned, जो आज का हमारा मुद्दा है,
जी.
I have a company, a group of companies which is operating in Russia since 1992.
Okay.
So it's almost 30 years, and the sphere of influence has been in Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and of course India. Now the problem before the Indian contingent, the business contingent, who are looking for the MSMEs who wish to work with India, there is a very less possibility of the Russian MSMEs to come to India and have a setup. I mean, that can be proved by maybe from Apora, Mr. Mathayo. Or, yeah, and the Export Council is also, Timur, you are here. So these are the people who are destroying the MSME from Russia, because they're helping them to go to, they are more near to China, Turkey still. So there has to be an environment created. Yeah, I'm right, Gaspaja Anna? I'm right for that, because you must be having the statistics of how many Russian MSMEs in past 1.5 years since the special operations in Feb 2022 have entered India. The only thing which Russian MSME is interested is in the parallel import or export from India, such as Siemens, whatever the backup they had. They never had Indian
So what's your
technology.
question, sir? Can you
My
come to-
question is, are they given, my question to the MSME India is that they should invite the Russian MSMEs. We had been trying to do that from our end also, from the Targove Palat or the Chamber of Commerce. Instead of the officials who are coming over here and telling us tall tales regarding how good the environment is of the MSMEs in India and Russia, please form a platform where the Russian MSMEs are invited to the Indian environment so that they could see the culture.
I got your question.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Balkan. Yeah, thank you so much. I think partly I can answer and obviously we'll open. I mean, the whole initiative with the permission of Mr. Goenka is both ways. So, I mean, we never said that this is only a one-way traffic, that we are only here for Indians to go and set up there. This is a two-way traffic. I think the Honorable Deputy Commissioner, Mr. Gravia, would agree with me that you got his question, Mr. Gravia, didn't you? He said that the Indians are being incited to go and set up in Russia. But how many Russian MSMEs have actually come to India? Mani Bhai has got that question, and I think this is a two-way initiative. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, sir, thank you for your question. It's really actual one. And what can I say due to this matter? First of all, we have some, we have some presence of MSME business, Russian MSME business in India, for sure. But we are not satisfied with the number of MSME business. But I will share you with a number of requests which we get every day. Approximately 20-30 requests from Russian business, and in the beginning of this process, in March of 2022, mostly state corporation, top private business applied for support of Trade Commission of Russian Export Center to enter Indian market. Now, to be sincere, really, practically maybe 70–80% requests are from MSME. We are doing our best to support, to find proper partners here. We are in a very tight contacts. We are not able, we have really a very restricted number of staff, but we are in tight contact with Business Association of India, with Industry Association of India, to share this information, to share this request, to forward Russian interest and intention from MSME business to find a proper partner. And we are trying to monitor the effect of this support. And really, we see a growing tendency. It takes time. But what I'd like to put emphasize. First of all, in India, we really had a platform for this cooperation. Trade Commission, Russian Export Center, how better to say, Опора России, or support of Russia, Business Russia, means Delovaya Россия. We have some channels to promote Russian business and to connect with proper partners.
Mr. Gravia, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you there, carrying forward for what Mani Bhai had. Do we have data of how many Russian small businesses have already set up in India till date?
I cannot answer immediately, but I will share this information.
Another question which I'm sure he would like to know is, between the Indians going and setting up there and Russians coming and setting up here, What is easier between the two?
We discussed this issue, and really now Russian businessmen tell us what I already mentioned. In India we have a platform. We have some channels to enter Indian market, to understand how to work, to get, for example, some support from for incorporation, etc., etc. Most of Indian businessmen really complain that there is no such a platform in Russia. And what is Mr. Goenka is doing, we discussed it, to set up such platform in Russia for Indian businessmen. To compare, absolutely true, and I trust what I'm saying, that in India we have better situation for starting business.
Okay. So I think, Manibhai, that answers your question that, India has got a better thing. So, but a very valid point raised by Manibhai, undoubtedly. Any other question? Anybody else interested in, setting up?
Shadway, can I?
Yes? You got a question?
Yeah, I got a question.
Is occasion experts planning to go to Russia?
No, I'm just, trying to explore.
Please.
So, I don't know who would be the right person to answer this. We are into event management and luxury weddings in India, across Asia, in fact. So we would like to explore. I'm also the Joint Secretary for Event and Entertainment Association in India. So, we would like to, on behalf of the association also, I would like to ask you this, that is there a platform where, we can explore what all Russian, places are there because Indians spend a lot on the weddings. What all possibilities and locations are there where Indians can go, and if we can also explore, the Russians when they do events or weddings, they can explore India as a market. So what would be the right platform on how to go about that, and who would be the right contact? If any one of you can answer this, that will be helpful.
So Ruchin basically wants to get Indians married to Russians and Russians married to Indians, apart from Indian getting married in Russia. So would anybody like to take that question, that what are the best places in Russia to go and conduct these mega events and maybe choose Russia as a wedding destination as well? Is there anybody? Yes, Anna would like to answer here. Ruchin, your question is being tossed to Anna.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's working.
Working? Okay, great. So you see, in Russia there are many places where you can have a really wonderful romantic wedding. But from all the places, I would recommend you to study about St. Petersburg. It's my native city. I traveled all over the world. I've never seen anywhere a city like St. P. And the neighboring places like Pushkin, former Tsar village, and Peterhof, former summer residency of Russian emperators. If you just Google and see the pictures, this is tremendous. But this is for really good budget, because to keep it for one event or even to share this event with someone, it's going to cost a lot of money. And I think that your better advisors on this will be Russian tourism companies who work in India on taking Indian tourists to Russia. They are very well familiar with this venues, prices and all. If you want in private, and I can share some numbers with you, because I know the guys who do it.
Well, Anna, I must tell you that Ruchin only handles big fat Indian weddings, $1 million plus weddings. So I don't think money is ever going to be an issue. He's got pots of money for people. You can't even imagine how much Indians spend on weddings. They just go, the wedding goes on for a week. There is one after the other, the ceremonies. So $1 million plus is Ruchin what he's looking at. So I'm sure, is that
perfect budget for what
perfect budget?
About.
So
yes.
Great, Ruchin. So your next wedding should be in St. Petersburg, or probably Moscow, or any one of those fancy locations. A perfect place. Yes. Anybody else who would like to ask anything about the setting up a business in Russia? Do you have an item in mind whether this particular product or service can be rendered in Russia? Anybody who would like to know? Yes, please. We've got a hand there. Yeah. Can somebody please pass on the mic? Can somebody pass on the mic to the gentleman? Please introduce yourself. It works when you start speaking. Yes.
Hello. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Abhishek. Manizavate Abhishek. Privyet. I wanted to ask something regarding like the aspect of medical tourism. There has been a lot of people, a lot of patients in Russia, in this like country of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan. They want to travel. They have to travel to India for in search of like better medical treatment, better. I mean, there hasn't been certain things which are, so for example, like liver transplant and other things which are not being available there. So is there some kind of platform available by which we can like provide assistance, assist them in order to search for a better opportunities over here in India?
I think, Mr. Gravia, there are people looking for medical treatment in India. The treatment here is high quality and at a very reasonable price. So is there a desk in Russia where if somebody wants to come to India to get a liver transplant or a kidney transplant or a heart treatment, where people can approach and they can find wonderful people from your former CIS country, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, they have been coming here very often. So is there a platform or is there a forum where, I think that's what Abhishek wants to know, right?
Yes.
I try to ask my colleagues from Trade Chamber to answer this.
Anjan, anybody looking for a liver?
Anjani Kumar Das. Anjani Das. Yeah, so I will answer your questions. This medical tourism is already taking place between Russia and India. A lot of Russians have got their agreement with the Indian hospitals, and a lot of patients are coming to India for the operations and different things. For that, if you want to contact with somebody, there are a lot of tourist companies in Russia which are working very closely with the Russians and the Indian hospitals. So it is going on already 5-6 years it is going on, and Russians are very happy for that. So if anything, I can recommend you the companies in Russia who if you have representing some hospitals or something, you can contact them. Thank you.
So do you run a hospital, Abhishek?
We are looking for a future project regarding the same thing.
You're looking for a future hospital project?
Yeah.
So let the hospital come up first before you look for patients.
We have a certain kind of platform running regarding the same thing. So
Okay.
we are looking for how we can contact the
Lovely. So I think something is already going on. Maybe, you can reach out to Anjan later.
And one thing I'd like, there's another point which I would like to raise. There has always been a linguistic barrier between both the countries whenever we look forward for the trade. For example, like I know a bit like till the ground levels, like Induski Cholovikni Gavari, Ruski Cholovikni Gavari, Induski and English is also have been a problem over there. So is there any kind of platform which we can further have, like to assist both the things in order to promote trade between the countries? Because since when we are not able to understand, when we are not able to get what both the parties are trying to convey to each other. So there
I think, Abhishek, we got your question. I think in the age of artificial intelligence, and with the number of translations available online in a virtual platform these days, you can literally translate in a second. I mean, I had a document in Arabic some time ago, and it was a 120-page document, and about 2 years ago, I had to send it back to Abu Dhabi for translation, and my office took 10 minutes to translate it. So I think translation nowadays from a language has become very, very easy thanks to the technology. But anyway, I think you would like to give a comment on that. Would you like to comment on that?
Yeah, hi guys. Regarding the tourism, so I think that such kind of platform that you are talking about is a good topic for startup, because yes, there are a lot of tourist agencies, and I know personally, few guys who are doing this kind of tourism, and not only from Russia but also from CIS countries, from Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. Yeah, the number of patients is huge, but frankly speaking, the problem that you are talking about the language, it's not a problem at all nowadays, because there are a lot of people who can translate from English to Russian, and from Russian to English, from Hindi, and like you rightly said, so technologies are very, very high right now. So, and AI, artificial intelligence, so this which can translate, it's no problem at all. And even if it is a problem, it's not a unique problem for India and Russia. It's everywhere in the world. They have, every country has its own language. And to consider this problem like a major problem, no, it's not right. Sorry.
All right, does that take care of your problem? Yes, we've got some more questions. Just before you raise your question, we have with us Mr. Ashok Shrivastava from Doordarshan. And for people who watch Doordarshan, the good old Doordarshan, the very first television channel in the country, for people who watch it in the evening, there is a show called Do Tuk. So Do Tuk for our honored members on the dais means straightforward, coming from the heart. Whether you like it or you don't like it, he opens his heart out. So I would like to invite Ashok on the dais. Please come in, Ashok. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Ashok Do Tuk. I'm giving Ashok you a new name. I call you Ashok Do Tuk, isn't it? Please have your seat. Ashok, bet here, please. Media has got a very important role. You know, we can never ever, obviate the role of media from any kind of initiative, be it MSMEs or anything. I think, so the right person to be sitting in the middle, Ashok, and we will like to hear his views on that. But let's finish the question answer session. Yes, the lady over there,
Hello.
please.
Hello.
One sec. Just,
मैं शरद जी दो बता दूं कि मैंने स्पेशली अशोक गुप्ता जी को कहा, मैं यार किसी तरह अशोक श्रीवास्तव जी को हमारे मंच पे बुला दो।
और अशोक जी को मैं बताऊं, आपके गोयनका साहब बहुत बड़े फैन हैं। इन्होंने मुझे शुरू में बोला जी कोई मीडिया से आया नहीं आया, अशोक जी जरूर आने चाहिए, हमें दो टूक करनी है।
मेरे को रियली मैं बताऊं, मैं इनके इसलिए नहीं ये बैठे मेरे बगल में, रात को मेरी नींद नहीं आती है ये दो टूक पे ना आए। कभी कभी ना ये शायद छुट्टी के चक्कर में किसी और को मौका देते हैं। Me and my wife, we are so much fans of him. The way he conducts, जितने धड़ल्ले से ये बात करते हैं, जो पैनलिस्ट होते हैं, वो मैं देखता हूँ ये उनकी कई बार वो कहते हैं कि आप यार मोदी के फैन हो आप, तो ये ऐसा मतलब नेशनलिस्ट बात करते हैं। मैं ये इनका फैन हूँ।
और गोयनका साहब, इसको एक और दिक्कत है, क्योंकि ये दूरदर्शन पे बैठते हैं, तो दूरदर्शन पे बैठ के जब आप खासकर ऑपोजिशन के सवाल लेते हैं तो बड़ी टेढ़ी खीर हो जाती है। वो तो कहते हैं इनको कि जी आप भी भाजपा के प्रवक्ता हो, सीधा इल्जाम लगाए।
That's the problem with him, that he puts such questions and he reverses that question. Somebody, the panelists said that you are asking the questions which they have to ask. He said it's my responsibility to probe you, to prompt you to speak the truth. It's as a journalist, so I wanted to compliment him today, Ashok ji. Thank you for accepting our invitation. You have honored us by coming. And आप जैसे दबंग लोगों को पब्लिक की सपोर्ट मिलनी चाहिए, तो आप ये समझिए आज आप जो आए हैं आपकी पब्लिक सपोर्ट करती है कि the way you conduct, you are a real genuine journalist of this country.
Absolutely. Yes, let's go back to the lady over there, please. Please do introduce yourself before asking.
Thank you. I'm Jyoti Kaur, President International Marketing from Yashoda Super Speciality Hospitals, Kaushambi. And we are very soon coming up with a 1,200-bedded Medicity in Indirapuram and a 300-bedded in Noida West. We recently have established and incorporated our office in London by the name of Yashoda Mediworld UK, and we intend spreading our wings further. So in continuity of the medical value travel, that's exactly what we have set up our office for. We would like to know if in such a case we are coming up to set up in Russia, can we get some assistance, or is what kind of which agency particularly would be dealing with it?
Yes, sir. So Jyoti comes from the field of medical treatment. So how easy, Mr. Gravia, it is for an Indian hospital, a very established chain, Yashoda, they've been there in business for a number of years now, very established, very reputed. How easy it is for an Indian hospital chain to go and set up there?
Yes, thank you for your question. I can say that procedure of incorporation of a company is in India. I've done it twice. I incorporated 2 companies, 2 subsidiaries in India, and the procedure here is much more sophisticated. It would be faster and easier in Russia. Due to specification of our activity, we are more concerned about India, how to incorporate company in India. But we are able to provide you with proper companies for such service. And besides that, again, I'd like to underline, to emphasize that it's necessary to have such platform. I contacted to economic wing of Indian embassy in Russia. It's not so numerous, that is why, and there is no such structure like embassy and trade commission like we have. We report to different ministries. Foreign Office is mostly concerned about some political issues, report to Foreign Office. We report to Ministry of Industry and Trade and concentrate on trade and economic issues. Indian embassy has only some officers. That is why no such support and such platform, and I hope Mr. Goenka will set up it. There should be one platform where to apply, where to get, but we are ready to share with proper partners.
I think what Jyoti wants to know is like the way there's NHS in UK, FDA in America. Is there a licensing authority in Russia from where you get a license? I think Rahman may like to answer. No? No? Is there anybody who would like to answer? Is there a licensing authority in Russia for medical fraternity to go and set up there? Is there anybody, Anna, or maybe can Anna answer? Because I think licensing is a must.
See, I'm not exactly from that field, but I can assure you that there will be a licensing, there will be a lot of rules and regulations, and you need to be ready that everything will be very strict. But of course it's doable, but there will be a number of papers.
So we can keep your question as pending, a very precise answer as pending. I think, Goenka sir, we can later on, after finding out from there, we can get back to Jyoti. Do you want to add something?
No, thank you very much
There
for
are
the same. Last
some
but not the
approvals
least.
required, you know.
Obviously.
As
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Even if you have to export medicine,
Yeah.
they have some approvals.
Undoubtedly.
Similarly, wherever there is something connected with the health or some persons, there are some registrations and approval required. Not in everything, maybe some food items, medicines, maybe this medical system. Sometimes it takes longer time, but with the help of Russian embassy in India and our people there, they are trying to reduce that time, you know. Earlier it was taking longer time. Now I'm told in a few months you can get those approvals and registrations.
Yeah. So maybe, Jyoti, we can come back later. You can put that question as pending too. I think Pragya is...
Thank you
Pragya,
very
let's people waiting over there. Yes, sir, the ones sitting in the front. Can you please pass on the mic? Anybody?
Hi. Yes, I am R.K. Jindal. I am from Jindal Global Productions. I am in film line. We have a film production house for the last 40 years. Russians are very fond of Indian films. Mera naam Joka, Raj Kapoor is very famous. So just my idea. Some co-TT is there with India, Russia, for film productions, and some subsidies are given just like many other countries are giving for shooting in Russia. And
so is there any incentive for Shah Rukh Khan to go and shoot there? Is there, you got an answer?
Yeah, I was dealing with movies for some time, Indian production houses for some time back. In Russia, there are no incentives like that. Certain regions of Russia were considering to do these incentives. Sochi was very keen about it in 2020. But in the end of the day, we also didn't decide anything. So you need to follow the news. The day it will come up, it will be there. Right now, no.
Do you want to go and shoot there? You want to go and shoot there? Well, I don't think there should be a problem. You can reach out to Mr. Gravia and he will put you through. Any other question, please? Yes. Just one more question because we're just about running out of time.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Please, please. Please. Please pass on to this gentleman. We'll take your questions, sir, as well. Yes. Let me just inform the audience here. There is going to be B2B meetings, one-on-one meetings later on. The delegation is going to be here. So you can actually have a one-on-one confidential meeting also. ये तो सब public है, यहाँ तो जो discuss कर रहे हैं सबके सामने है. But you can actually have a closed door discussion also with the delegation. Yeah, that's at 3 p.m. Yes, please. We'll take your question, sir. Please.
Greetings to you. My name is Sachin Mahajan and I am representing Kashmir Saffron. We have come from Kashmir and the item that we are selling is saffron. Saffron, as you all know, that the saffron that is from Kashmir, that is considered to be the best in the world. And you may be surprised to know that that has a lot of medicinal values. And even this saffron is helpful in fighting cancer. So the question that I'm going to put to you is, we are willing to sell saffron to Russia, and there may be people who are willing to buy it. So my question to the people on the dais is, how are you willing to connect people like us to the people who want to buy saffron in Russia? And we were supposed to have B2B meetings. I want to.
So that's happening at 3 p.m. 3 p.m.
Which place?
Yeah, here itself.
This hall?
Yeah. In the second hall, the meeting is going to happen. But anyway, we'll take your questions. So saffron from Kashmir.
And that is considered to be the best in the world.
It's world famous. It's the best quality saffron which comes. So, sir, I think Mr. Gravia would like to answer about saffron. I mean, from Kashmir, saffron wants to reach out to the world. Anybody? Mr. Anjan.
Okay, just some words before passing the floor to my colleague from Trade Chamber. For sure, Indian saffron is well known, and especially Kashmir saffron. And besides that, today I even took my wife here with me and recommended, because she's a fan of Kashmir saffron and carpets, and also some pashminas. We know about Kashmir products. And what can I say? We are able, and this is our role also, to connect you with proper partners in Russia. We get requests from Indian businessmen. We have official, me or my colleagues will give you business cards. It's possible to find trade representation of Russian Federation in internet. We have our contacts there, and in case of official request, we will put you through with proper potential partners in Russian Federation. It's our official role, and I can promise that we will do our best. And
yeah, here just I would like to add something. If you want to promote this thing, in Russia, there is going to be international food exhibition where large Indian companies are going to participate. For your information, more than 100 textile companies are going to participate in Russia in September when the exhibition is going to take place. So as Mr. Greva has told, you can keep his contact, and so that he can connect with the buyers there, and he can have direct negotiations with them, because the Indian saffron is well known everywhere. So that can be the best platform, like exhibition or something. It keeps on happening in Russia, so that is the best place to connect with the real buyers. Thank you.
Oh yes, you're going to get into B2B meetings also, and you can discuss at that time. The gentleman who was waiting, yes sir, the last question here. For the others who missed out, you will get an opportunity, sir, later. There is a B2B one-to-one. In fact, ये तो सब public में है. आप अलग से एक से मिल सकते हैं, अलग से session रखा गया है. यहाँ तो आप अपने business का बहुत निजी मामला नहीं discuss कर पाएंगे, पर उसमें you can be open. Yes, please.
So my name is Fazal Mir. I'm from Kashmir actually, but I'm based in New Delhi. So I just want to try to make it very short. First of all, my question is that I want to give a big thank you for MSMEs and all the officials in front of me, and you as well, sir. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
And my question is that, being part of this MSMEs, do we have some, the buyers who can visit our stands? I mean,
yes.
I mean, we hardly see the officials only here.
You took it from my mouth. In fact, I was going to announce just now that soon after this session, the entire delegation is coming down to the stalls. So we are all of us are going to come to the stall, and we're going to move from one stall to the other. अभी मेरी गोइंका साहब ने भी ये बात का याद दिलाया, और सबके सब अभी आपके stall पर आने वाले हैं.
And I've been actually, noticing since yesterday, most of the delegations and most of the officials, they do go only on this left side of the hall, that we are part of also the 7As, the hall as well.
Okay.
So we hardly see any, the
Sir, they are going to go
delegates.
left, they are going to go right, they are going to go forward, they are going to go backward. Please be assured, we are just going to go there. So just wait for some time.
And one more question, just want to end it out. And I want to know how to approach to the buyers, I'm in a fashion line actually. We do scarves and all that.
All right.
So how do I find the right buyers?
What I would suggest, sir, is at 3 p.m. there is a one-to-one business interaction with the delegation as well, and just wait for that, and you will be able to get. So I think with that we'll have to end the question answer here. I would you like to add something? Yeah.
Yes, some words in addition. Colleagues, friends, I really recommend you to follow some information, some promotion, some advertisement on a website of Trend Commission. We place information about all business missions, which Mr. Timur mentioned, sometimes 2-3 times per month, and we inform about visits, about dates. This is the best way how to have B2B meetings also, and really now it's very active period of visits of different Russian regions, different Russian association, industry, business missions, etc., etc. Every month we have, and we place this information on our website.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gravia. At this point, I would like to welcome all our media partners who are present here. We have Mr. Ashok Shrivastava from Doordarshan, who's here on stage. We also have just now Ms. Dipali Nanda from CNBC Awaz. We would like to welcome her. Dipali, we can interact later whenever you... So big thanks and welcome to all the media partners who are present here from across. We've got two brilliant ladies from Informis who look after Delhi policy. We've got a lot of other media partners. We would like to welcome and thanks all of them, and we'd like to interact with them soon as we get off the dais. मैं अब गुजारिश करूंगा अशोक श्रीवास्तव जी से, यहाँ पर दो टूक तो नहीं कर पाएंगे, पर आपके विचार और आपकी मीडिया MSMEs में, अशोक जी आप जानते हैं ये MSME का त्यौहार है 3 दिन का. गोइंका साहब इसको बड़े पैशन से इसको हर साल करते हैं, मोदी जी के एक मैसेज को आगे ले जाते हैं, मंत्रीगण आते हैं, इंटरनेशनल डेलीगेशन यहाँ आता है, लोन मेला यहाँ लगा हुआ है, एक्सपोजिशन लगी हुई है. तो मैं समझता हूँ कि मीडिया के बिना अशोक जी सब कुछ फीका फीका है, सब कुछ अधूरा है. तो आप प्रसार भारती से हैं, आप दूरदर्शन को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं, तो आपको क्या लगता है कि मीडिया का क्या रोल है MSMEs को आगे बढ़ाने में? मीडिया क्या रोल प्ले कर सकता है हमें अमृत काल में, हमें 5 ट्रिलियन 10 ट्रिलियन डॉलर इकोनॉमी ले जाने में? और आप व्यक्तिगत रूप से कैसे इसको देखते हैं?
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया शरद जी, गोयनका साहब का बहुत आभार, आपने मुझे इस प्रतिष्ठित मंच पर बुलाया. और MSME को लेकर अभी हाल ही में ये पता नहीं संयोग है कि क्या है कि मुझे पिछले दिनों अभी Y20 से जुड़े कार्यक्रम में पूना बुलाया गया जो MSME पे था, वहाँ पे विस्तार से बातचीत करने को मिली। लेकिन जैसा आपने कहा कि मैं ज़्यादा MSME भी, क्योंकि यहाँ पर काफ़ी चर्चा हो चुकी है, B2B अभी प्रोग्राम्स होने हैं, अभी और जो यहाँ पर लोग आएंगे बात करेंगे। लेकिन सबसे पहले तो मैं इतना ही कह दूं कि ये MSME को जो मंच दिया जा रहा है, और ये आप यहाँ पर बैठकर आज रशिया की पॉलिसी क्या हो सकती है, रशिया के साथ किस तरह से आप अपने MSMEs को बढ़ा सकते हैं, ये मंच दिया जा रहा है MSME को, यही अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ा कदम है। और इसके लिए गोयनका जी बहुत जो है मैं कहूँगा कि बहुत आपके आभारी रहना चाहिए कि आपने ये मंच दिया, क्योंकि मोटे तौर पर MSMEs को इतना बड़ा रोल इकोनॉमी में होने के बावजूद MSME को अभी हम उस नज़रिए से अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ नहीं दे पाते हैं जो देने की ज़रूरत है। लेकिन यहाँ पे मैं एक बात और कहूँ, इससे पहले मैं कुछ और मुद्दों पर अपनी बात रखूं। सर, ऐसा ही एक अपॉर्चुनिटी जो है, मुझे लगता है, मुझे नहीं मालूम आपने अगर पहले किया है, एक US के साथ भी जरूर जल्द ऑर्गेनाइज करना चाहिए। मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूं क्योंकि मुझे पिछले दिनों प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के साथ अमेरिका जाने का अवसर मिला। मैंने वहां पर जो क्या पाया, मैं उस हिसाब से बात कर रहा हूं कि वहां पर मैं ऐसे बहुत सारे, और आज से नहीं, मैं 2003 से जब अटल जी प्रधानमंत्री थे उनके साथ मुझे अमेरिका में रिपोर्टिंग करने का मौका मिला, फिर डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह और अब नरेंद्र मोदी जी। मैंने एक बात नोट की कि वहां पर जो इंडियंस हैं, इंडियन ओरिजिन के लोग हैं, अक्सर वो इस वक्त एक बड़ी ताकत है। और मैं इसलिए बता रहा हूं कि मैं इस बार जब वहां पर इंडियन ओरिजिन के लोगों से मिला, भारतवंशियों से मिला, तो मैंने एक बात नोट करी और लोगों ने मुझे जानकारी दी। अमेरिका की MSME सेक्टर में इस वक्त, अमेरिका की MSME सेक्टर में इस वक्त हिंदुस्तानियों का बोलबाला है। वहां पर हिंदुस्तान से गए लोग जो हैं अमेरिकी MSME सेक्टर में, क्योंकि यहां से पहले क्या था, पहले हम ये सुनते थे, ये हमको मालूम था कि भारत के लोग जाते हैं नौकरी लेने के लिए जाते हैं और अमेरिका में नौकरी वहां पर लेने के लिए जाते हैं, काम करने के लिए जाते हैं, काम की तलाश में जाते हैं। लेकिन इस बार मैं ऐसे भारतवंशियों से मिला जिन्होंने छोटे छोटे अपने MSME सेक्टर में कुछ ना कुछ उद्योग धंधे लगा रखे हैं, और वो वहां पर 500, 600, 1000 अमेरिकन को नौकरी दे रहे हैं। आप सोचिए कि हिंदुस्तान से यहां आदमी जाता है और अमेरिकन को वहां नौकरी दे रहा है MSME सेक्टर में। मैंने उनसे पूछा, मैंने कहा आप यहां पर इतना सब कुछ कर सकते हैं अमेरिका में, तो आपने हिंदुस्तान के लिए क्यों नहीं किया? क्योंकि बहुत से लोग सवाल पूछते हैं कि भाई ये लोग तो हिंदुस्तान छोड़ के चले गए, अगर भारत से इनको इतना प्यार है, आज भारत से इतना प्यार दिखा रहे हैं, तो हिंदुस्तान छोड़ के क्यों गए थे? तो वो लोग कहते हैं कि हम हिंदुस्तान छोड़ के इसलिए गए थे क्योंकि हमारे पास अवसर नहीं थे, अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं थी। जो अवसर हमारे पास हिंदुस्तान में नहीं था वो हमें अमेरिका में मिला, और हमने अपनी प्रतिभा और काबिलियत के दम पर दिखाया कि हम क्या कुछ कर सकते हैं। आज सौभाग्य से आज हिंदुस्तान में वो अवसर हैं कि हम यहां पर MSME सेक्टर को अच्छे से खड़ा कर सकते हैं, MSME सेक्टर को वर्ल्ड क्लास इंडस्ट्री बना सकते हैं। आज सौभाग्य से अवसर है, आज किसी को अमेरिका की ओर देखने की जरूरत नहीं है। हाँ, आपको सहयोग चाहिए, आपको अपॉर्चुनिटी चाहिए। यहां पर भी जो MSME सेक्टर में छोटा सा एक इंडस्ट्री लगा रहा है, उसको रशिया के साथ कोलैबोरेट करना है, उसको US के साथ कोलैबोरेट करना है, उसको बाकी कंट्रीज के साथ कोलैबोरेट करना है, ताकि उसकी जो ताकत है वो अपनी ताकत को अचीव कर सके। इसके लिए जरूरत है। लेकिन आज यहां पर अवसर हैं। लेकिन मैं मीडिया के नाते एक बात कहूंगा, क्योंकि शरद जी ने कहा, दुर्भाग्य की बात यह है कि मीडिया में MSME सेक्टर को उतनी तरजीह नहीं दी जाती। मैं खुद मीडिया से हूं, लेकिन ये मानता हूं। क्यों? आप देखिए ना, यूपी में आज कुछ नहीं तो कुछ नहीं, मेरे ख्याल से 5 करोड़ लोग जो हैं, सीधा सीधा जो 1 डिस्ट्रिक्ट 1 प्रोडक्ट ODOP जो है, जो छोटा सा स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्री का MSME सेक्टर का एक छोटी सी प्रोडक्ट है, उसको लेकर आपने कितनी स्टोरीज देखी। मैं उत्तर प्रदेश के कई डिस्ट्रिक्ट में गया जहां मैंने देखा जो छोटे छोटे प्रोडक्ट हैं। आज हम जिस तरह से बर्तन अपने किचन में इस्तेमाल करते हैं, जिस तरह से हम प्रेशर कुकर इस्तेमाल करते हैं, आज वो मिट्टी के बने प्रेशर कुकर कितने शानदार हमारे अपने उद्यमियों ने बना के तैयार किए हैं। हम में से कितने लोगों की रसोई घर में इस तरह के प्रोडक्ट आज हैं? क्या ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी नहीं है? हम अक्सर बात करते हैं कि हमारे गांव में हिंदुस्तान बसता है। गांधी जी और नेहरू जी की नीतियों में मोटे तौर पर, मैं ये नहीं किसी की आलोचना यहाँ नहीं करना चाहता, लेकिन मैं सिर्फ एक बात बता रहा हूँ, गांधी जी और नेहरू जी की नीतियों में इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन को लेकर एक मेजर फर्क था।
अशोक, सॉरी, आप समय कम है, आप टोकते, आज मैं ये लिबर्टी ले रहा हूँ टोकने का बीच में, और मेरा मन कर रहा था, मैंने कहा देखो जब टोकते हैं तो कैसे आप टोकते हैं, तो आई वाज ट्राइंग टू। मैं अशोक ये जानना चाहता था कि आपने जो शुरू में कहा कि MSME इस सेक्टर जो इतना इंपॉर्टेंट सेक्टर है उसको उतनी तवज्जो नहीं मिली जी, तो क्यों नहीं मिली? मैं ये जानना चाहता हूं, जो 11-12 करोड़ लोगों को नौकरियां देता है, 45% से ज्यादा एक्सपोर्ट में कंट्रीब्यूट करता है, वो कैसे निगलेक्ट कैसे रह गया?
देखिए, इसलिए नहीं हुई क्योंकि एक तो ये अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर था, इसकी आवाज उठाने वाला कोई नहीं था। छोटे छोटे इंडस्ट्री हैं। अब जैसे मान लीजिए आज की तारीख में सबसे पहले तो ये कि मैं वहीं से शुरू करता हूं जहां से मैं कह रहा था और जहां आपने, क्योंकि बहुत अच्छा सवाल आपने शरद जी पूछा। ये बेसिक फर्क क्या? नेहरू जी ने कहा कि हमें बड़ी बड़ी इंडस्ट्रीज कर, गांधी जी कहते थे गांवों को मजबूत बनाना है तो हमको छोटी छोटी इंडस्ट्री खड़ी करनी है। तो यहां से जो है नेहरू जी क्योंकि प्रधानमंत्री थे, गांधी जी को हम धीरे धीरे भूल गए, वो सिर्फ नोटों में छपे रह गए। तो गांधी जी ने इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन को लेकर जो एक हमें बताया था कैसे गांवों को मजबूत करना है, उसके नेहरू जी प्रधानमंत्री थे, उनकी पॉलिसी आगे बढ़ी और हमने बड़ी बड़ी इंडस्ट्रीज को ही माना कि वो हमारे लिए जो है कारगर है। उस बिल्कुल कोई दो राय नहीं, बहुत कारगर है, होनी चाहिए। लेकिन ऐसे में हमने नेग्लेक्ट कर दिया कहीं ना कहीं स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्री को, उनकी आवाज सुनने वाला कोई नहीं था। और धीरे धीरे, और मीडिया में भी क्या होता है, हम लोग अंबानी जी की एक खबर आ जाती है तो तुरंत अडानी जी की खबर आती है तो तुरंत मीडिया दिन रात उस पर लगता है। अंबानी जी के घर में कोई पार्टी होती है तो जो है मीडिया उस खबर में चला जाता है। लेकिन फिर कह रहा हूं कि ओडी ओपी जो शुरू हुआ प्रोडक्ट, क्या उस प्रोडक्ट के बारे में आपने उतनी रिपोर्ट देखी? आज आपको पता है कि उत्तर प्रदेश के जितने डिस्ट्रिक्ट हैं वो क्या क्या प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हैं और क्या शानदार प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हैं? वो नहीं होता। उसके लिए हम मीडिया के लिए उसके जिम्मेदार हैं। लेकिन मैं फिर अक्सर मैं मीडिया में रहकर मीडिया की आलोचना करता हूं, लेकिन मैं ये भी कहता हूं मीडिया का रिमोट कंट्रोल किसके हाथ में है? वो आप लोगों के हाथ में है। क्योंकि आप लोग जो रिमोट से देखना चाहते हैं मीडिया वही दिखाता है। आप देखना चाहते हैं कि अंबानी जी के घर में पार्टी हुई और उसमें जो है रणधीर कपूर और दीपिका पादुकोण पहुंचे, आप लोग वही देखना चाहते हैं तो मीडिया वही दिखाएगा। आपने कभी कोशिश ही नहीं करी कि हिंदुस्तान का एक छोटा सा इंडस्ट्रीज जो है वो किस तरह से सरवाइव करके और किस तरह से कोरोना काल में उसने शानदार काम करके हिंदुस्तान को आगे ले गया। अगर लोग ये देखना चाहेंगे तो हम वो दिखाएंगे। मजदूरों का मजदूर जब कोरोना का संकट हुआ, एमएसएमई सेक्टर कितना संकट में पड़ा और किस तरह से मजदूर पलायन कर रहे थे वो हम सब ने देखा टेलीविजन चैनलों पर। लेकिन उसके बाद उसको बचाने के लिए क्या कुछ किया गया और कोरोना में जो कुछ हुआ उसके कारण 1.5 करोड़ से ज्यादा जो है रोजगार जो है भारत के बचे। और 1.5 करोड़ जो है किसी देश की आबादी होती है। 1.5 करोड़ रोजगार हमने बचाए। हमने जो इमरजेंसी क्रेडिट लाइन दी उसके बारे में किसने देखा? और आज जो है वही कोरोना काल से निकलकर आज जो है आप लोग जो एमएसएमई सेक्टर के लोग हैं, आप लोग इस मेहनत से ईमानदारी से जो काम कर रहे हैं उसके कारण आज एमएसएमई सेक्टर जो हिंदुस्तान की ग्रोथ इंजन में इतना बड़ा भूमिका बना रहा है, उसको कितने लोगों ने देखा? तो सर उसके लिए काम करने की जरूरत है। और ये इस तरह के मंच जो है, मुझे खुशी हुई, मैं अपने आप को मैं दुर्भाग्य मानता हूं कि मुझे नहीं पता था कि ये इस तरह के मंच इतना शानदार काम कर रहे हैं। लेकिन ये हमारी जरूरत है ना कि हम जाने भी, लोगों तक बताएं भी, पहुंचाएं भी। तो उसके लिए हम सब जिम्मेदार हैं। थोड़ा सा हमको सेंसिटिव होने की जरूरत है, थोड़ा सा हमको सोचने की जरूरत है कि इंडस्ट्री और स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्री और जो हिंदुस्तान के गांवों को मजबूत कर रही है, हिंदुस्तान में रोजगार का, ग्रोथ का एक स्टोरी बनी हुई है, उसको हम जरा तवज्जो दें। ये मेरा मानना है सर।
बाप बड़ा ना भैया, सबसे बड़ा रुपया। आपने अंबानी साहब का जिक्र किया तो चर्चा भी उन्हीं की होती है जहां रुपया बड़ा होता है। आप जो कहना चाह रहे हैं कि क्योंकि छोटे रुपए की बात है तो उन बेचारों की चर्चा गोयनका साहब रह जाती है। अंबानी साहब, अडानी साहब की चर्चा चैनल्स पे खूब देखने को मिलती है। जो बेचारे छोटे छोटे, जिनको आप कहते हैं छोटे छोटे हैं, जो बेचारे हैं, उनको मीडिया भी कई दफे इग्नोर कर देता है। यही मेरे ख्याल अशोक मैसेज देना चाह रहे थे।
अशोक जी ने बिल्कुल सही कहा कि हम लोग डिसऑर्गेनाइज थे और हमारा कोई माई बाप नहीं था जो हमारी आवाज को हाईलाइट करे। आज टिकैत जी हैं, वो किसानों की आवाज को हाईलाइट करते हैं, उनके माँ बाप हैं। हमने, अशोक जी, प्रयास किया टू बिकम द वॉइस ऑफ एमएसएमईज इन इंडिया। आई एम वर्किंग फॉर द लास्ट 9 years ऑन दिस सब्जेक्ट। मैंने ये महसूस किया कि इनकी इसलिए पिटाई हो रही है कि ये डिसऑर्गेनाइज्ड हैं, इनको ऑर्गेनाइज करने की ज़रूरत है और somebody has to take the lead. I took the lead starting with Mr. Modi in 2014 और पहले 3-4 साल हमारा माल बिक नहीं रहा था। लोग हमें जानते नहीं थे, पूछते नहीं थे, कहीं जाओ कहते एमएसएमई जाओ, वो क्या होता है एमएसएमई। पर हमने आज मेहनत करके एमएसएमई की पहचान बनाई, उनकी वैल्यू बनाई, उनका थोड़ा सा डर बनाया। आज आप आए हैं, आपने जिस पैशन से बात की है, मैंने सोचा कि इनसे कुछ मांग लिया जाए, जिसके पास कुछ होता देने को, यू स्टार्ट आस्किंग। मेरा आपसे निवेदन है कि जितना पैशन आप में है, कहीं ना कहीं आप हमें कोई स्टोरी करके, कुछ करके दूरदर्शन पे हमारा ये दर्द जो है वो हाईलाइट करें। क्योंकि रीज़न है कि हमारी अभी भी कोई सुनवाई नहीं है। मैंने मोदी जी को कहा था, जैसे किसान टीवी चैनल है, एक उद्यमी भारत के नाम से चैनल बनाया जाए। मोदी जी ने, गवर्नमेंट ने ओके भी कर दिया, पर वो कहीं मेरा ख्याल है बीच सिस्टम में अटक गया। तो कुछ इस टाइप की हमारी इस मिशन में आज आप आए हैं, तो मैं सोचा आपसे निवेदन करूं, आप हमें गाइड करें कि हम किस तरह से, क्योंकि जंगल में मोर नाचा किसी ने नहीं देखा। टीवी पे, मीडिया में जो चीज़ आएगी वो हाईलाइट होती है, तो हमें गाइड करें। इसके बाद हम आपसे पीछे पड़ेंगे कि किस तरह से हम करें कि हम मीडिया में या कुछ, आप कभी कभी हमारी स्टोरी देखिए। आज एक किसान आत्महत्या करता है, जैसे उन्होंने बताया, अंबानी की बात बताई, किसान आत्महत्या करे, सब रोते हैं, सब पार्टियां विलाप करती हैं, टीवी पे आ जाता, मर गया मर गया। परसों ही मैं अखबार में पढ़ रहा था, हमारे किसी व्यापारी ने आत्महत्या कर ली इसी कर्जे के चक्कर में। सर, हमें तो छोटी सी क्लिपिंग भी नहीं मिलती, हमारा दुख दर्द ये है। तो मैंने आपको, एक तो ये आप आए हैं तो हमने अपनी एप्लीकेशन लगा दी कि हमारी हैंड होल्डिंग करिए, हाउ वी कैन टेक दिस मीडियाज बेनिफिट। दूसरा, जैसे आपने कहा अमेरिका, मैं पिछले साल 2 महीने अमेरिका में था। जब अपॉर्चुनिटीज हमारे देश में नहीं थी, मैं 1980 में अमेरिका गया, 2-4 हज़ार डॉलर मांग के इकट्ठे करके मैं वहाँ गया, डरता बढ़ता, पर मेरे पास गवर्नमेंट की एक एलसी थी, जिसके कारण मैं वहाँ बैठ गया। पहले मैंने फ्लशिंग में एक स्टूडियो कमरा लिया, करते 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 आज वहाँ पर 3 एकड़ में बंगला भी है, बिजनेस भी है, हमने फॉर्चून बनाया वहाँ से। मैं आज कहना चाहता हूँ, आई कैन से, जो अपॉर्चुनिटी मैंने 1980 में अमेरिका में देखी और मैं उसका बेनिफिट लिया, आज वही अपॉर्चुनिटी रशिया में है। You can take that advantage now. Russia is opening up in the private sector. And as he has rightly said, our earlier governments, they were having some communistic influence on the economy of India. They preferred larger sectors, PSUs, and they discouraged private sector. कल स्वदेशी वाले भी बता रहे थे, पिक्चरें भी ऐसे बनी कि सब व्यापारी इंडस्ट्री वाले चोर हैं, बेईमान हैं, स्टिग्मा लगा। नाउ द टाइम्स हैव चेंज्ड, यू नो, कम फॉरवर्ड एंड टेक द एडवांटेज। रशिया में मैंने 1980 में मांग तांग के मैं गया था, फिर मैंने अपने भाई को बिठाया, आई केम बैक टू इंडिया बिकॉज आई वांटेड टू सर्व माय कंट्री। आज मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, जो 1980 में मैंने अमेरिका में अपॉर्चुनिटी, यू हैव द सेम अपॉर्चुनिटी टुडे इन रशिया। यस्टरडे आई टोल्ड यू 5 years, if you don't agree, increase 5 times, I will pay you. Really, there's an opportunity in Russia, take advantage. But मेरे जो ये MSMEs है, इतने भोले हैं, वो कहते हैं ना, खाना भी खिलाओ घर भी छोड़ने जाओ। भैया वो बदलो अपनी नेचर, अपना आगे बढ़ो और इस वक्त का फायदा उठाओ। Our country is growing, Russia is growing, connections are growing. Take advantage in India also and take advantage in Russia also. मेरा साले का बेटा, मैंने इसको चंडीगढ़ से बुलाया।
अशोक जी,
he is a very big industrialist, he is making so many things. इसको मैंने बुलाया, यार तुम रशिया चल।
सर, रशिया की एक बात और है, क्योंकि यूएस रशिया आपके लिए अवसर तो हो सकते हैं, लेकिन रशिया में अवसर के साथ साथ हिंदुस्तानियों के लिए प्यार भी बहुत है। मुझे 2-3 साल पहले वहां जाने का मौका मिला था। मतलब इंडियंस को देख करके रशिया के लोग जो गर्मजोशी होती है, जो प्यार होता है, वो गजब का होता है। जी
तो
जी
ऐसा है कि मैं जस्ट एक इस मंच से आपको बोल रही हूँ अशोक जी कि हम लोग MSME अड्डा लॉन्च किए अपने MSME डेवलपमेंट फोरम की लीडरशिप में, तो उसको हम लोग आपके थ्रू अगर हाईलाइट कर पाएंगे तो बहुत अच्छा रहेगा. अभी फिलहाल हम लोग को एम्बेसडर्स को ऑनर करना है.
So we have the honor of Goenka sahab, sorry, I'm just cutting short the session. हमारे बीच we've got some honorable ambassadors from different countries whom we would like to honor on stage. First of all, we honored Mr. Arun Kumar, His Excellency Arun Kumar Hadian from the Embassy of Suriname. His Excellency, I would want you to just speak for 1 minute. Please come on the dais. Speak to us for 1 minute about what is Suriname and what kind of relations Suriname and India has. Of course, we know, Mr. Arun Kumar, you can make out by looking at him that there is deep-rooted Indian connection in Suriname, and it's, I think, decades old, if I'm not wrong. 23 years old. So I think Mr. Arun Kumar or His Excellency Arun Kumar would like to, in 1 minute, sir, if you can please highlight on how India and Suriname are going forward before we invite the other ambassadors, please.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Given the limited time, just in a nutshell, for those that don't know where the Republic of Suriname is, we're in South America, bordering also the Caribbean country. About 27% of our population is from Indian descendants. That is quite surprisingly that needs to be promoted more and more. We do actually speak Hindi in Suriname, which is well preserved, together with all the tradition and the cultural values that our forefathers brought 150 years ago from mainly Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. It was an honor for the Republic of Suriname that Honorable President of India just traveled on the 5th of June to Suriname, making her first state visit, being in office as president, to celebrate the 150 years of Indian arrival in Suriname. Regarding the MSME sector, it's an emerging sector for Suriname. We're a former colony of the Netherlands. That's why our official language is not English or any other language, but it is Dutch, which is almost similar to German. And we're the only Dutch-speaking country outside of the Netherlands. So we have to shift towards, of course, also what is more international acceptable in helping to promote business. But I would suggest, giving the limited time, once again, that I will be honored to discuss more of our opportunities and the business that Suriname has to offer India. We are present in India. We share a 23 years relationship, and we need to focus more on exposing Suriname more in Suriname and the opportunities and any chances we can offer in mutual benefit of both countries. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Arun Kumar. So can I request Mr. Goenka to please come forward and honor His Excellency Arun Kumar.
Can I also request Dr. Gaurav Gupta, Global Trade and Technology Council founder president, to join us on stage to honor him. All our friends down the stage, we request, if you want to meet His Excellency, if you want to meet the Russian delegation is here for P2P meetings, आप उनसे one-to-one बात कर सकते हैं for all your queries. Can I request Pragya, Vice President of Calcutta MSME Development Forum chapter, to join me on stage. Mike, please.
Hello. We also have His Excellency from the High Commission of the Kingdom of Lesotho, Charge d'Affaires, His Excellency Thabang Linus Kolumu. I would like to invite you, sir, on the dais. Sir, can you say a few words? We in the midst of an MSME conference. What does Kingdom of Lesotho here, sir? Kingdom of Lesotho has to offer for MSMEs in a few words.
Thank you very much for having me, and excuse me for my hoarse voice. Let me right away tell you that I am from the Kingdom of Lesotho. It's the southmost African state which is completely surrounded by South Africa. We are inside another country, South Africa, And history tells that we were never colonized, while our neighbors were all colonized. And this is how we ended up being inside another country. Lesotho has lots and lots of diamonds. We have pure water. We have 0% carbon print. We also export wool and mohair that is actually consumed here in India. I enjoyed this meeting today, and I felt very jealous that we do have Indians in Lesotho, but we don't have Basotho in India doing business. So I got very challenged for the cooperation between India and Russia, which I want to now take to Lesotho to have a similar cooperation between India and Lesotho. Thank you very much for having me here, and I really enjoyed this meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. When you said diamonds, sir, all the ladies sitting here, they were on the alert. So can Indians go and have diamonds from there, sir?
So I offer services of my forum, MSME forum. If you connect us with Lesotho, we'd like to develop socio-cultural economic relations with Lesotho more and popularize in our country. We'll help you.
Can I request Dr. Gaurav Gupta back again to join us on stage to honor His Excellency from Lesotho and the chairman of MSME Development Forum. Can we have a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen?
Thank you very much, sir. We also have amongst us His Excellency from Myanmar, Mr. Ho Kya Ong. I would like to invite you to play on the dais, please. And I think your better half, sir, is also here with you. May I request Madam to please accompany him?
Can I request Chairman, sir, to please welcome him, His Excellency, and Pragya, our Vice President from Calcutta, to honor ma'am.
His Excellency, we would love to hear a few words from you on this MSME initiative.
Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to express my thanks for inviting me, and I would like to congratulate organizer of this expo, and also I would like to wish every success in the future endeavor. Speaking of Myanmar, there is no special introduction because our country is an immediate neighbor of yours, and we share 1,600 kilometers and maritime border of, and also historically, we have very strong economic ties and cultural ties. And apart from that, Myanmar is the only country bridging India and Southeast Asia. And India is Myanmar's 5th largest trading partner and 11th largest investor. So we would like to promote bilateral relations, and we want to connect the strong, already strong, connect the reconnect. And also, Myanmar exports agriculture, and we are exporting 1 billion worth of beans and pulses, only beans and pulses alone. So when you eat mung bean and urut, they are probably from Myanmar. And we are promoting investment from neighboring countries, and we are also offering incentive for foreign investors. So I would like to invite all of you to do business with Myanmar and invest in Myanmar. Thank you very much.
One question I remember from my childhood that Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Myanmar supported him. That's what I understand. And there is one road connecting now, going through Myanmar from northeast, and it is under final stages. It will increase and boost our trade and business with Myanmar also, and connecting, I think it's going up to Thailand? Yes. Right, the Silk Route. So Myanmar is very important for us, being our neighbor. Culturally, we have strong relations, and it has been helping us during our independence struggle, I think, if I'm not wrong. So we should try to benefit from our relations, and since he is here, we will extend our full support and expect that how we can increase bilateral business in small and medium sector, and we will join hands with you. Thanks for coming and giving us opportunity to be with you. Thank you. This is...
I will request our chairman, sir, Dr. Gaurav Gupta, to please honor, and Dr. Sharat Kohli to please honor His Excellency. And my request to all the representatives from various countries who are here, please be available for B2B meetings right after this session during lunch. I'm sure there are a lot of businessmen, entrepreneurs, MSMEs out here who would like to do one-to-one conversations with you. All right. Can I also request Vibhor Tandon, who is the Secretary, Calcutta chapter of MSME Development Forum, to join us on stage so that we can honor our guest. To start with, I'll request Shri Ashok Srivastava, Senior Editor and Anchor, दूरदर्शन न्यूज. एक बार जोरदार तालियों से थैंक यू सो मच अशोक जी, आप आज हमारे बीच आए. Can I request Kailash Gupta ji to please join us on stage from our Delhi chapter, MSME Development Forum. Kailash Gupta ji. Thank you Ashok ji. Thank you so much for being here. आपकी तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट चलती रहे तो थोड़ा motivation मिलता रहेगा. Thank you so much. All right. I'd like to deeply thank Mr. Gravia, the Deputy Trade Commissioner of Russian Federation. Thank you so much, sir, for being here today. Can I request our chairman, sir, to please honor him with token of love? Mr. Gravia. Can I request Mr. Timur from Russian Export Center? Thank you, Mr. Timur, for being here. It's a pleasure, and please be available for the B2B meetings right after this. Can I request Mr. Sergey from Gazprom Bank to please join us on stage? Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Vitality from Federal Customs Service to please join us on stage. Miss Anna from Business Russia. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause. We need your applause continuously running up for our delegates who are here, especially for you. And ease of business with India and Russia. Mr. Roman Matru, Opera Russia. Thank you so much, Mr. Roman. Mr. Anjani Das from Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Russian Federation of India. Mr. Anjan Das. Thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, would like to call upon Mr. Shivang Sharma from Saber Bank branch in India, one of the biggest Russian banks. Thank you, Mr. Sharma, for being here. Now, can I request all the delegates on the stage to stand up together for a group picture? And I'm going to connect one-to-one with all of you, Mr. Timur, Miss Anna. I'm definitely. Can I request the Russian team, the Russian delegates to join us on stage, and also the Mr. Romeo, the National B Board member, also join us on stage. Very warm welcome, sir. Come, please come, join us. He's the National Bee Board member. किशन जी कहाँ पर? किशन जी आप बताओ क्या क्या कराना है? All right, so we announced for a lunch break. We're going to be back at 3 p.m. for another amazing, interesting session on PSU's Government and MSME Media Partnership Summit. So ladies and gentlemen, please be here as we have some important delegates who are visiting for this summit. Can I request our chairman to please stay back and we would like to honor a few people. Can I request Shri Pankaj Singalji from Monarch Enterprises to please join us on stage? And Mr. Jha to join us on stage along with our chairman sir to honor Mr. Shri Pankaj Singalji. Shri Pankaj Singalji, can we have you on the stage quickly please? Can I request Shri Nitin Agarwal ji from Prayog Polymers to join us on stage? Shri Nitin Agarwal.
जिस पे टिक लगा हुआ है ना, उसको बुलाना है।
बस दो ही ना।
नहीं, इसके बाद ये पहले इनको बुला लो, चलो।
Shri Nitin Agarwal ji to join us on stage.
मोमेंट हो गया उनका। मोमेंटो प्लीज।
Shri Rana Chawla ji to join us on stage from Prayagraj. Shri Rana Chawla ji. Shri Rana Chawla ji from Prayagraj. I request all our Russian friends to be available for B2B meetings. With a lot of people who are interested with them, you can do B2B meetings. Shri Rana Chawla ji from Prayagraj. इनको सबको बता दो कि लंच वीआईपी शिवांग लंच इज अवेलेबल एट श्री राजू गुप्ता फ्रॉम वीनस हॉजरी प्राइवेट लिमिटेड श्री राजू गुप्ता जी शरद भैया कैन यू हेल्प मी टेक देम टू द lunch can we go to VIP lounge yes of course only VIP please come
करना सनी गुप्ता सिद्धार्थ गुप्ता साहिल सनी सिद्धार्थ एंड साहिल
Mr. Sunny Sahil and Siddharth Gupta to please join us on stage. Shri Vinod Narayan Mathur. Shri Vinod Narayan Mathur ji to please join us on stage. Sir, as we need to break for the lunch, can we do it quickly? Shri Vinod Narayan Mathur ji to please join us on stage. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for your presence, for your gracious presence, and we're going to catch you back at 3 p.m. for an amazing session on PSU's Government and MSME Partnership Summit. Again, welcome you all to the second day of 9th India International MSME Summit.